Well, it's a lovely sunny day here in Bognor Regis for a change, and we're going to take a little ride out to a local airfield that played a part in the Battle of Britain. It's not too far away. There's also an aviation museum there that could be quite interesting. And it's not too far from where we are, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long to get there. So we're just into February, and still quite cold, but like I say, it's nice to see this sunshine. So while we're going down here, a little bit about the bike. So this is my 2004 GT200 Gran Turismo. So about 20 years old at this time. Still a pleasure to ride though. I take it fairly easy on her because she's 20 years old, but she kind of does for my commute. Unfortunately, the time of year, it's not very colourful at the moment. Everything's kind of mud coloured. But come the summer, it really does get pretty nice around here. And we got some great things we can go and look at. I'm very aware that I've touted on the channel that we're going to look at some historic sites and that, and we will do that. The main point really is to these initial rides, just to establish everything is okay, and hopefully by the time I'm ready proper, we'll have nicer weather and everything will look nicer. So in a minute we're going to leave this main drag. So the airfield we're going to take a look at is called Tangmere, and I think it was in operation until about the 70s. It started up, I believe, in 1918, but it was at the First World War. And at one point was owned by the American Air Force, but then bought back by Britain at the beginning of the Second World War. And It played a fairly major part in the Battle of Britain, where it was, I believe, attacked by a Stuka squadron, and 14 people lost their lives there. But it's now, the village of Tangmere became, during the Second World War, was effectively a village that was serving the airfield. That most of the normal, civilians had been moved out, but all that has now been reclaimed back to civilian use. I think there's one block still standing, which was to do with housing for the staff officers, and I think it's partially converted now into something else. And there is also the control tower, which is now which has got a preservation order on it, purely because, actually no, let's go this way, because it's one of the remaining Second World War era control towers. Most of the airfield itself has been taken up by farms and companies, and some of it's been turned back into farmland. And there's also an aviation museum there called Tangmere Aviation Museum, which has got some exhibits, planes, what have you. Not super big, but it's relative. Right, so we're going to head down here. There you go, sign for the Aviation Museum. Right, here we go. Now we're literally just doubling back on ourselves. We're a few miles over. So. And at the end of this road is the airfield. One interesting little fact I saw on Wikipedia, so you can assume it's right, is that the first recorded UFO sighting was made by a plane that took off from here and then flew over Portsmouth, and I think it encountered a UFO at 20,000 feet, and that was the first one that went down on paper in the UK. And here we are. Here's the Aviation Museum. Oh, that's new. Well, that's a real shame. That used to be open. But is no longer. We'll go around the other side and see if we can have a look at the control tower. And here, just a quick peek. Some of the aircraft. What we got here? Phantom, Harrier, helicopter Westland perhaps. Buccaneer? Oh no, another Harrier. And that one. So this is the museum. Right. Well, that's a bit disappointing. But let's go to the other end. You never know. So this is the village of Tangmere. Famous people associated with here: Douglas Bader, Flying Ace, and there used to be a pub here called the Bader Arms, but that's now changed names to something else, or it's become something else. And here we go. Down here. Apparently, the control tower was used towards the end of the film The Great Rock and Roll Swindle with the Sex Pistols and Malcolm McLaren. So I'm going to look that one up when I get back, see if I can find the scene. I think it's here actually. Yes, this is it. Nice day for a ride though. It's a Sunday morning, so not too busy. Ah, there's the tower. There we are, there's the control tower. I'm going to go down there, turn around and then face it so you can see it better. Hopefully the sun will be behind me-ish. All this stuff on the right, there used to be some proper big hangars there, but they've all been demolished for housing now. And also the airfield fire station. Right, doesn't look much, but it's got a preservation thing slapped on it, so hopefully that will get put back together at some point. There we are. Worth the wait, wasn't it? And then we go back to just not scared, it's a chap on his bike. Lessons. That's a big hole. And the rest of the airfield goes all the way. Well, it goes all the way round really, and there are lots and lots of greenhouses where they're growing peppers and that kind of vegetables. Right, okay. Well, I suppose we got there in the end, in a slightly disappointing fashion. And I know it's not the most exciting thing to see, but it's always nice to go out for a ride. And it's particularly nice to be a ride where there's actually a bit of sunshine. I think we go back a different way if we can, and take a little bit of a slightly more scenic route back. Something else I needed to look at on this ride was my temperature gauge. Someone said on my previous video didn't look like it was working, so I can see it is off of the bottom, so it has warmed up a bit. It doesn't seem like it's enough. I have got a replacement temperature gauge or temperature sender to put on there next time I do a coolant change, and I've also got a new thermostat. So, but at the moment I've got no reason to suspect the thermostat of being faulty. The temperature gauge, I don't know. I guess it's possible. I understand it works on temperature and resistance. So I guess if it's very corroded somewhere, it could affect the resistance, but I'm not an expert in those matters. I might be able to find some information and test it with a multimeter, but I've got a spare in a lot of spares that I bought a while back, so you know, I could just put a new one in there. I mean, the bike's 20 years old, potentially never been changed. So we'll see. We'll see when we get to that. And what we're going to do on the way back is we're going to, rather than go back to the main Bognor Road, we're going to go to a little place called, or head towards a little place called Oving, which is a very small village, and take a very scenic route from there back to the Bognor Road. Here we go. Garden centre. I'm hoping that sun's not going to be too bright when I'm heading into it. So I've got a neutral density filter on the camera at the moment, ND8. when you look at the old maps, this area is somewhere around here is designated as a deserted medieval village, which is, I find stuff like that quite interesting. I'd imagine that if you're into metal detecting, this would be a super place to get some permissions. This is Oving. There's a little pub here to our left that brews its own beer. Now, it's over the railway line. Ah, interesting. Well, let's have a look, shall we? It didn't rain yesterday, so hopefully this is yeah, there we go. The wind is certainly whistling around my crash helmet, so I'm hoping you're not going to be have the shriek of 1,000 banshees on the recording. Right, this is really risky. Let's do this one. There's a good chance I might have to turn back from this road for flooding. But let's go and have a look. Okay. It's this way. I only cleaned my bike the other day as well. It's going to be proper muddy. But hey, there you go. Oh, nearly there. Pardon me. Fly tipping. And this is the main Bognor Road again, so total success. I think my fingers are a bit frozen today, not operating the indicators properly. Here we are going back into Bognor. There we are. Well, if you came along for the ride, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to see you on the next one. Bye for now.